Good evening. The time is now 7 p.m. and I want to welcome you all to the March board meeting of the Newton County Board of Education. Would you please join me for a moment of silence and then followed by the pledge to the flag. Please join me for the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Good evening again. This month, the Newton County Board of Education will hold two meetings, a work session, which we're holding tonight, and a business meeting on Tuesday the 17th, where we will vote on matters presented to the board. Now that we have arrived at the month of March, the district is beginning to prepare for the final months of the year. This includes the FY27 budget preparation, summer planning, testing season, and graduation season. So clearly there is a lot to be done. Please be sure to continue following the progress of our district over the next few months through our board meetings and supporting documents. Now a word from Dr. Bradley.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Good to see everyone this evening, and thanks to everyone joining us in person and for those of you who are joining us online. Board, as we begin this evening's meeting, I want to take a moment to recognize that it is Women's History Month. This month, we pause to acknowledge the impact that women have had on our communities, our public institutions, and our shared progress. Here in Newton County Schools, that impact is especially evident. It begins with this board, where we are guided by the leadership of our board chair, Mrs. Abigail Coggin, and vice chair, Mrs. Shaquila Henderson Baker. Their work reflects the very best of public service. But the influence of women in this organization extends far beyond the dais. Across our schools and departments and divisions, you can find women serving throughout every corner of our organization. Their contributions are woven into every success that we celebrate as a district, and we're proud to join the rest of the nation in recognizing and honoring them. This week also marks School Board Appreciation Week. You know, I often say that the very best collection of board members anywhere in the state of Georgia are right here in Newton County. This is an experienced board as well, together representing nearly 6 decades of service to our community. In that vein, they have seen the highs and the lows that come with this work and have navigated challenges and celebrated victories, all while remaining advocates for the students and families of Newton County. That kind of service deserves our respect and our gratitude. Would you please join me in giving a round of applause to our Board of Education? To commemorate this moment, as you can see, and consistent with tradition, several of our schools have gifted you swag so you can show off your Newton County Schools pride. That is the array of gifts that we have up front this evening. Madam Chair, we're also recognizing two important employee groups this evening: National School Work Week and National Maintenance Worker Day, which was held last Friday. In every organization, there are individuals whose work happens primarily behind the scenes, work that may not always be visible, but is deeply felt in the daily life of our schools. Our social workers support some of the most vulnerable students and families, and our maintenance teams help to ensure that our schools are safe, functional, and welcoming environments each day. These employees are treasures to this organization, and we're deeply grateful for their dedication. Finally, board, let me say that under your leadership, we have significantly expanded recognition programming throughout the district. Last year, we introduced several new district honors, including Counselor of the Year, Media Specialist of the Year, and Support Professional of the Year. To recognize these outstanding professionals, we recently hosted the district's mid-year awards program. I believe we have a video that captures some of the highlights of last week's program.
Smiles and excitement filled the hallway as staff from across Newton County Schools gathered to celebrate the people who support students every day. Newton County Schools recently held its second annual Mid-Year Awards celebration, recognizing the exceptional work of our school social workers, school psychologists, counselors, and media specialists. Many of these professionals work behind the scenes each day, supporting students in ways that are not always visible, but are always essential. During the program, Superintendent Dr. Duke Bradley and district leaders recognized outstanding professionals whose work helps support the whole child. One of the honors presented during the celebration is the Support Professional of the Year, also known as the Sporty Award, recognizing an outstanding school social worker or psychologist. This year's recipient is Nicole Pullins.
I am so honored. I am still in awe. I'm humbled. It shows that school social workers are seen. Oftentimes, we spend most of our time behind the scenes and we're not seen, we're not heard, and we do behind the scenes work. And I like that this award showcases us and highlights the work that we do. I like that it's putting us to the forefront, making sure that people know that the social workers, we are part of the whole child as well.
The district also recognized its Counselor of the Year. Dr. Tamika Stringer was named Newton County Schools Counselor of the Year.
It was a great honor to be named Newton County School Counselor of the Year. I was very surprised, humbled, and just grateful. It really was great to be recognized by my colleagues and coworkers.
This year also marked the addition of Media Specialist of the Year to the Mid-Year Awards celebration. Ms. Bettini Ferris was named the district's Media Specialist of the Year.
It meant a lot to me to be the Media Specialist of the Year. It says that I serve my community in Newton County to the best of my ability, and it really felt good to be acknowledged for that.
Beyond the awards themselves, the celebration created a moment for staff to step away from their daily responsibilities and recognize the value of the work happening across our schools.
I definitely think that people will take away from this how they are being valued, they're appreciated. The small things really matter. Oftentimes we're not recognized on a high scale. Even the little small things, celebrate those small things. And I definitely believe that Newton County School System is showing that.
From literacy and learning to mental health and student support, these professionals play an essential role in helping students succeed. While much of their work happens behind the scenes, their impact is felt every day in classrooms across Newton County schools. Congratulations to our 2026 Mid-Year Award winners, and thank you to the outstanding social workers, psychologists, counselors, and media specialists who support our students every day.
All right, outstanding. Would you all please join me in giving another strong round of applause to, absolutely. Madam Chair, this concludes my welcome. I look forward to a productive meeting. I turn the agenda back over to you.
All right. Well, thank you. It is now time for our special recognition, so I'll be turning it back over to you.
Well, you can see from the fact that we have no empty seats in our boardroom tonight that it is time for the very best part of our board meetings each month, which is awards and recognition. So thank you all to our families and so many of our young people, faculty and staff, principals and administrators. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. We've got a few recognitions to get through, so please be patient with us. Board, tonight we are proud to recognize several very talented elementary and middle school students who recently represented Newton County Schools at the Griffin Risa Regional Literacy Days competition. These students competed against their grade level peers from Butts, Fayette, Spalding, Pike, Lamar, and Upson counties in a variety of literacy-based events, including poetry, recitation, reading, ready writing, and drama. We are incredibly proud to share that our students brought home an impressive 23 awards from this year's competition. Their achievements reflect not only their individual talent and dedication, but also the strong support of their teachers, families, and schools. These students represented Newton County Schools with excellence, creativity, and with pride. Now let's get started. First, we will recognize our Poetry Recitation Contest Award winners. In this competition, students were evaluated on stage presence, articulation, interpretation, memory and accuracy, and the difficulty of their selected pieces. We had 2 winners in this category. Students, when I call your name, please come forward to accept your certificate of recognition from Board Chair Mrs. Abigail Coggin. First up, we have Matthias Deacon. Matthias Deacon. Board, Matthias is a 5th grade student at Newton County STEAM Academy, and he earned a 3rd place award with his performance of The Adventures of Isabel. Congratulations, Matthias. Next, we have Simi Fakunle. Simi Fakunle. And don't get tired, you all. We've got a whole bunch to get through this evening. But Simi is a 6th grade student at Newton County STEAM Academy, and she won the 3rd place award with her presentation of The Tiger. Congratulations, Simi. Madam Chair, Newton County Schools was also well represented in the Ready Writing competition, where participants are given a prompt and 1 hour to compose an essay. 3 students brought home awards in this category. The first is Jordan Russell. Jordan is a 5th grade student at Porterdale Elementary School, and he was the 1st place champion in the Ready Writing Award this year. Next up, we have Ella Oshiemi. Ella Oshiemi. All right. Madam Chair, Ella is an 8th grade student at Clements Middle School, and she placed 2nd in the Ready Writing contest. Congratulations. Next up, we have Caitlin Wood. Caitlin Wood. Unfortunately, Caitlin could not be with us this evening, but she is a 7th grade student at the Newton County STEAM Academy, and she earned 2nd place honors in the regional Ready Writing competition. Let's give her a round of applause. I'm sure she has loved ones watching at home. Madam Chair, we also had not 1, but 2 school drama teams bring back a trophy from the Regional Literacy Days competition. In the elementary division, the Porterdale Elementary School drama team earned 3rd place for their performance of Wickedly Wonderful, Zelphira's Tale at Porterdale Academy. Let's recognize these young actors and actresses. Students, when I call your name, please come forward to accept your certificate. First, we have Panina Abong. Panina Abong. All right. Panina is a 3rd grade student at Porterdale. Congratulations, Panina. Next, we have Willow Smith. Willow Smith. Here's Willow. And Willow is a 3rd grade student at Porterdale. Next, we have Kehlani Snipes. Kehlani Snipes. Kehlani is a 4th grade student at Porterdale. Congratulations, Kehlani. Next, we have Aaliyah Armimer. Aaliyah is a 4th grade student at, you guess, Porterdale Elementary. Next, we have Felicity Obando. Felicity Obando. Felicity is a proud 4th grade student at, we can all say it together now, Porterdale Elementary. That's right, that's right, that's right. Next, we have Stephen Ellison. Stephen Ellison. Stephen is also an attendee of Porterdale Elementary and a proud 4th grade student. Next, we have Briella Walker. Briella Walker. Briella is a 4th grade student at? There you go. All right, congratulations, Briella. Next, we have Jalea Nash. Jalea Nash. All right, all right. Jalea is a 5th grade student at Porterdale Elementary. Congratulations, Jalea. Next up, we have Jordan Russell. We're going to bring Jordan back up. Not only did Jordan win the Ready Writing Contest as a first place winner, he also performed on the third place drama team for Porterdale. Congratulations again, Jordan. And to round us out, we have Kylie Snipes. Kylie is a 5th grade student at Porterdale Elementary, and we say congratulations to Kylie. All right. So in addition to the Porterdale team, the Cousins Middle School drama team also earned a 3rd place award in the regional drama competition for their performance of I Am Not Your Fairy Tale. Let's recognize the Cousins drama team. All right, we're going to bring them up. First up, we have Michelle Jones. Michelle Jones. Madam Chair, Michelle is a 6th grade student at Cousins. Congratulations, Michelle. All right. Next, we have Janae Middleton. Janae Middleton. Janae is a 6th grade student at Cousins Middle School. We say congratulations to Janae. Next up, we have Messiah Brooks. Messiah Brooks. Also a Cousins student. Messiah is in the 7th grade. Next, we have Shemaiah Daniel. Shemaiah Daniel. All right. Shemaiah is also representing Cousins Middle School this evening. Congratulations to Shemaiah. She's a 7th grade student. Next up, we have Juliana Folson. Juliana Folson. Also at Cousins Middle School, Juliana is a 7th grader. All right. And for the last 3, we have Sky Jones. Come on up, Sky Jones. Sky Jones is a 7th grade student, also representing the Cousins Middle School family. Congratulations, Sky. Next, we have Kyron Allen. Kyron Allen. Kyron couldn't be with us this evening, but he's representing the Cousins Middle School team, and he is an 8th grader. And lastly, we have Sadie Robinson. Sadie Robinson. All right. Sadie is an 8th grader at Cousins. Congratulations, Sadie. Let's give our Literacy Days winners one more strong round of applause. There it is. That's right. That's right. Students, let me just say really quickly on behalf of our Board of Education that your creativity and your confidence are something that we are incredibly proud of, and we look forward to seeing all that you will continue to achieve in the years ahead. Congratulations again. Madam Chair, this concludes tonight's recognition program. I turn the agenda back over to you.
Thank you. All right, well, congratulations again. I'm so proud of all of you. This year, usually I'm able to attend the Literacy Days and see all of you at Porter, but this year I was unable to, so I regret having something else on my schedule. But again, I'm so proud of y'all. As I can say, I speak for my fellow board members as well. But I know many of you have homework to do.
Madam Chair, before you dismiss them, can I say something? Because I always love it when I love all of our students. For somebody to say something. I love all of our students. But I always love it when our thespians, our young thespians come in here, and I say that every year around Literacy Days because y'all bring so much energy. We get woos and everything during that time frame, and everybody else is so reserved. And so I always love the energy that you guys bring, so I want you guys to keep it up. And for the record, if you read my bio, I went to Porterdale Elementary and Cousins Middle School. So that was both my elementary and middle school represented tonight. So great things come from those schools.
All right. Well, like I said, I know you've got some other things you want to do. You're welcome to stay for the rest of our meeting, but now would be the opportunity if you would like to go home this evening. Thank you for coming.
Emmanuel, excuse me one second. here, yes, quickly. He graduated with Star. He goes to Tuskegee. It's one of my favorites.
All right, moving forward, it is time for our public participation. Do we have public participation this evening?
We do.
All right.
Public participation is a time that the board has set aside to encourage you as members of our community to voice your opinion on any matter either included on or excluded from the printed agenda. A maximum time of 5 minutes will be allotted to a single individual or a single topic based on the number of requests. Complaints against any employee of the school system will not be heard unless the complaint has been submitted in writing to the superintendent at least 7 days prior to the board meeting. If unresolved, any personal complaints about school personnel must be put in writing for the board to review in executive session. Personal attacks against any member of the board will not be tolerated. Once the time for public participation has passed, discussion of topics will be restricted to board members only. Thank you in advance for complying with this request. So our first public participant is Corey Mitchell. So we have a podium and a mic over here.
Hello, my name is Corey Mitchell. Ladies, gentlemen, I'm here to point out something that I feel is like a shortcoming in regards to an ever-present and ever-rising issue, not only in our school system, but countrywide. Like, the statistics have gone up for bullying and cyberbullying. Part one, legal obligation under Georgia state law. Georgia's anti-bullying statute, OCGA Section 20-2-75.4, requires every school district to adopt a bullying policy, which I'll have, the no place for hate, right? Investigate every reported case, and take prompt disciplinary and remedial action, and notify the parents or guardians in a timely manner. Now, if you look on Facebook, this isn't happening, and it's being voiced on the public forums, especially on the Covington, Georgia Living page. And I am a personal victim of it. So that's why I'm shaking up here, because I don't have any self-confidence issues due to past issues in my life. And this isn't a personal attack on anybody, but posters and PSAs and all that doesn't really address it, and it doesn't satisfy the legal obligation to uphold those policies, because you actually have to have action rather than just a voice, all right? So I'm coming to speak on that. Second, federal civil rights requirements require bullying to be a federal issue when race, color, national origin, disability, or sex is discriminated against upon. And me personally, I'm autistic. I have Asperger's, diagnosed twice in my life, one time in 2012 and one time in 2017. I was on Adderall, 120 milligrams, because not only could I not focus, but it got so much that I couldn't even succeed in school. And then after I took Adderall, it was like everything was okay. But I mean, I was a zombie. You don't want a kid in school being a zombie, just no emotions, not having any impact, not even trying to be involved because he doesn't feel wanted. My third point is, it's like I said on Facebook, it's showing that it's a countywide pattern. So something, I'm not saying that y'all aren't trying to do anything, but something possibly could come about where it could change. Maybe I don't even have a suggestion for y'all. I'm just coming here to voice it. And like I said, PSAs don't meet that. I mean, awareness campaigns can't replace the requiring the legal process for handling bullying reports. Back in the day, it was you talk bad, well, let me just smack you. But now we can't do that, even though Georgia is a stand your ground state. Because that leads legal obligation to the parents of the individuals who get attacked because they caused the bullying issue to press charges. And I feel like that's kind of a protection of the bully rather than the victim that was involved in. You know what I mean? So you can't fight back if you're bullied. You can only voice. Just for example, my nephew has had a recent incident where he was being bullied and being cussed out, and finally he lashed out, and they basically made him sit down with the other kid and say a no contact order. But this is happening at the bus pickup. They can't really not necessarily stay away from each other unless the teachers are physically separating them, but that separates them from their duty of protecting all the kids and watching over all the kids. You can't focus priority on just a one case when it's just, it's just leaving out the other kids. So that's neglect. That would be neglect at that point, in my personal opinion. My final point that I would like to make is, that's pretty much it. But I mean, you get what I'm saying. I'm not here to attack y'all. I'm not here to criticize y'all. I'm just saying if it's still continuing, and my grandma went to meetings and half the time they weren't even reported or anything like that. And I don't even know if y'all know Margaret Mitchell or even heard of her, but she went my whole school career trying to fight for me and stand up for me. And it was like, he just has to deal with it. That's the answer she constantly got, was he just needs to learn how to deal with it. A person with autism doesn't know how to deal. He doesn't pick up social cues. It took me until 6 months ago to learn what gaslighting was and how to actually pick up on gaslighting. I didn't even know what gaslighting was or what the term was. It's like people blowing you off and basically saying stuff to just get you out of their way and not really caring about what you're saying. And that happens a lot too. So I'm going to concede my time, but that's basically what I've got. And I've got a thing on my phone I can print out, and I can give y'all a copy of it so y'all have everything that I wrote down. I don't have enough time to go through all of it, but thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell, will you do me a favor? The last 2 digits, I can't make those out what they are, so that somebody can contact you back of your telephone number.
Madam Chair, may I request just clarification? Corey, are you a student?
I'm a former student.
You're a former student?
I graduated,
Okay.
but like I said, it happened through my school, and I didn't have any self-confidence or built up until 27 years old to actually say something about it. And
Just so our audience knows, we follow up with every public participant, and so we'll have someone follow up with you.
Oh, that's fine. I'm in mental health now too because of it. So yeah, it's helping, but I mean, it still didn't fix the trauma.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I know. I'm his mother. I'm just going to say this one thing. For my son to stand up there, if all of y'all, it's a big deal. He's got Asperger's and ADHD and all that. He already has that against him. So I'm so proud that he was able to come to you. It was 10 years after he graduated. So thank y'all for listening to him. I really hope y'all will reach out to him.
Please do.
Because there's other kids, okay? I'm sorry, that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I gotta get out of here.
Our second participant for the night is Cheryl Griffith.
Hello, my name is Cheryl Griffith. I've lived in Newton County for 65 years. My mother has lived in Newton County for 85 years. This is the first time I've been to a school board meeting, and I'm here to actually meet the people who are responsible for my 85-year-old mother continuing to pay school taxes. I think between 85 years and 65 years, we've paid our share of school taxes. She lives on nothing but a little over $2,000 a month in Social Security. She's widowed. She's lived in the same house for 60 years. She has no kids, grandkids, or great-grandkids in the Newton County school system. But yet, over half of her property tax bill every year is school taxes. That is an atrocity. She literally has a little over $3,000 left in her savings account. She has no other money. Within the next 2 property tax cycles, she has to pull money out of her savings account every year to pay her property taxes. In 2 years, she won't have any more money. There's so many counties that are working this out. Cherokee, Clayton, Cobb, DeKalb, Gwinnett, that's only a handful of them. In December, I sent an email to each and every one of y'all addressing this. Only one person out of all of you acknowledged my existence. That is not acceptable for someone who's lived their entire life here in Newton County. 14% of Newton County's population, if I get the numbers wrong, I went off of some Google thing, are 65 and older. If you need an 85-year-old woman's last savings to meet a budget, then something is horribly, horribly wrong. In this Hollywood of the South, there are plenty of people moving into this community that have money, rather than y'all taking elderly people's last money they have, possibly causing them to lose their homes over it. Are y'all going to pitch in and pay her property taxes every year? Like I said, I sent you all an email. Trey is the only one who responded to me. If any of you think this is even remotely fair, raise your hand, because none of you can raise your hands. Anderson, I graduated high school with you. I don't know how you voted on all this stuff. I don't even know if you're a Republican or Democrat. I don't care. It don't matter what you are. This is not right. When is elections coming up again for school board?
Their qualification just happened.
You have 1 minute remaining.
And the only district that has competition is mine, and I'm not running again. But the other 2 districts, 1 and 3.
And who is it that's running again?
The only ones there's only competition for District 5.
Which is who?
Alan Fowler and Adam File.
Okay. Okay. That's all I know to say. It's not right. And if y'all can't balance a budget without using elderly people's last money in their lives, then shame on you. Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes public participation.
All right, next up is our approval of tonight's agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
All right, Ms. Henderson Baker, second by Mr. Eddie Johnson. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as they were presented?
So moved.
Okay, Ms. Henderson Baker, and I'll take Mr. Johnson. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Now our superintendent's reports.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Benjamin Roundtree to the podium for Board of Education informational item 11A1, Quarter 2 Quarterly Report. Mr. Roundtree.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board, and Superintendent Bradley. Pleased to bring you Board of Education informational item 11A1, Quarter 2 Quarterly Report. As we continue reporting for the 2025-26 school year, I kindly remind this board and our community that quarterly reports are designed to both monitor and communicate our progress toward implementing the board's priorities for the year. They are an important tool that we use to ensure broad awareness about the district's productivity, performance, and current organizational status. This evening's report demonstrates our continued focus on our pursuit of identified goals. As a quick reminder, you will recall that each of our organizational priorities and their corresponding subcomponents were initially provided in the fall of 2023 when Dr. Bradley produced a 90-day report with findings and recommended priority actions. These findings were eventually affirmed as key areas of focus and were coupled with the approval of corresponding goals. Together, our priorities, our goals, and our specified strategies provide guidance for our work. They also help to establish the pace and cadence of the organization, which is informed largely by all we have committed ourselves to. Lastly, it is important to note that our disciplined and focused approach to achieving our objectives prevents disorganization and eliminates the pursuit of disconnected, one-off activities. Of special note, after a mid-year review at the request of this board, adjustments have been made to accommodate strategic workload reductions across the district. From the organizational priorities, work on developing a Tier 1 behavior support and intervention framework has been paused. Regarding strategy initiatives to support this priority, work to create a district-wide counseling program aligned to standards set by the American School Counselor Association also is paused. Within the priority to deepen community and stakeholder engagement, we are reevaluating our Hispanic Family Engagement Initiative. While elements of these initiatives may continue, albeit in a different capacity, we will not be reporting on progress or the outcomes of these efforts in the same way we do for other priorities. Beginning with advancing academics, school improvement, and student supports, the board's priorities are to strengthen the district's literacy foundation, clarify and document the district's literacy improvement philosophy, strategy, and resources, and number 2, strengthen the instructional core, which includes implementing research-based instructional practices, interventions, and support systems in service of ensuring rigorous Tier 1 instruction district-wide. The district's literacy initiatives continue to strengthen students' foundational literacy skills through the implementation of research-based instructional practices, targeted interventions, and comprehensive support systems. These efforts have been codified into a draft literacy blueprint that is designed to guide ongoing improvements in literacy district-wide. During quarter 2, the NCS Literacy Leaders Committee, along with principals, division leaders, teachers, and instructional coaches, provided feedback to shape and inform the blueprint, ensuring it reflects the unique needs, priorities, and opportunities inherent in our overarching goal of assuring our students receive the very best literacy instruction. A review of the initial feedback revealed the importance of keeping the blueprint concise, incorporating high-quality infographics, diagrams, and visuals to enhance engagement and clarity, providing details on supports for secondary educators working with middle and high school students who have foundational reading deficits, and including a comprehensive glossary. Also, in an effort to expand the reach of this literacy work beyond the school district, Our partners in education and members of the University of Georgia Archway Partnership have completed a survey to help identify opportunities to collaborate, invest, and strengthen the literacy pipeline for Newton County students in the larger community. It is also important to note that during Q2, literacy unit planning guides that embed structured literacy strategies into all subjects were fully implemented, and all teachers in grades 4 through 12 completed adolescent literacy training. Regarding our priority to advance academics by strengthening the instructional core through targeted enhancements in teaching practices, the draft Excellence in Teaching framework is complete, and the Teacher Advisory Council met throughout Q2 to provide feedback. These teachers collaborated on the components and actions embedded within the framework and later reviewed design options and incorporated valuable feedback from teachers and school leaders at their respective schools. A shared feedback document is used to capture implementation efforts and identify any barriers that may affect the successful implementation of the framework. Finally, finding ways to both remediate and accelerate learning for students remains important work within this organizational priority. Informed by mid-year iReady screening data, the teaching and learning team strategically redesigned the middle school intervention block to ensure targeted, student-centered instruction for remediation when skills have not been mastered and extension for skills that have been mastered. Across the school district, teachers, instructional support staff, and administrators are immersing themselves in our collective call to action to reimagine and rebuild literacy education in Newton County schools, while at the same time refining our instructional framework that will help students achieve their academic objectives and goals. Under advancing operational effectiveness, this board continues to prioritize advancing school safety through a coordinated improvement strategy, ensuring the development of a multi-year strategic plan, identifying and implementing necessary operational efficiencies to streamline core systems and enhance organizational effectiveness, and evaluating district-wide facilities to explore opportunities for future use, right-sizing, efficiency, upgrades, and modernization. Newton County Schools is enhancing safety by holding district-wide safety meetings, which are attended by representatives from every school, along with key district-level personnel. During these meetings, attendees review district-wide safety data, look at trends, and ensure compliance with state and federal requirements. District-wide safety meetings reinforce emergency procedures, support ongoing training and readiness, and ensure that our practices align with established school safety standards promoted by the Georgia Department of Education and the Georgia Emergency Management and Homeland Security Agency. In addition to serving as a foundational component in ensuring staff are prepared to respond effectively during emergencies, these meetings also are part of a coordinated effort by Newton County Schools to receive the Ready Georgia Seal of Preparedness, which recognizes schools and districts for meeting high standards in emergency planning, training, and safety technology. Schools seeking this recognition must meet rigorous criteria that include comprehensive emergency operations planning, regular drills and exercises, staff training, and implementation of security interventions. As has been communicated throughout each quarter, Newton County Schools' strategic plan is under development. As part of its strategic planning process, Newton County Schools, in partnership with the Georgia School Boards Association, previously conducted stakeholder engagement sessions with both internal and external stakeholders. These included a governance team meeting and consisting of Board of Education members and the superintendent, as well as a community engagement meeting. In addition, an online survey was used to gather broader stakeholder input. Together, these multiple opportunities for feedback ensured the district was intentional in its commitment to inclusivity and transparency. During quarter 2, all these data were compiled and summarized into the Newton County Schools Community Engagement Report, which will be used to inform the development of the strategic plan. We have provided copies of the report to you this evening. It should be in one of your folders with you. We take very seriously our objectives to achieve more organizational efficiency and transparency. Towards that effort, the Division of Business Services has transitioned an additional 26 vendors to ACH payments. By moving away from manual payments, the district reduces the time it takes for vendors to receive payment, eliminates the risk of checks being lost or delayed in the mail, and makes it easier for vendors to conduct business with the district. During quarter 2, the Division of Operations completed its evaluation of the district's facilities. The evaluation was conducted to determine if the district's buildings and facilities are used efficiently, maintained effectively, and positioned to meet the district's needs. The review also sought to identify opportunities for future use, right sizing, efficiency, upgrades, and modernization. The results of the evaluation have been compiled into a report that will be used to complete the district's local facilities plan, which will be submitted to the Board of Education for approval. Once approved, the local facilities plan will be used to inform the foundation for informed decision-making about facility use, future planning, and capital investments across the district. This work directly supports the board's organizational priority to advance operational effectiveness by evaluating district facilities. Under advancing culture and engagement, this board has clearly expressed through its organizational priorities a desire to deepen community and stakeholder engagement. During quarter 2, the district carried out its Newton for Newton initiative to strengthen our role as a trusted connector of resources in the community. Specifically, the first phase of Newton for Newton focused on linking food insecure families with local providers. This launch was expedited due to the potential temporary cancellation of SNAP benefits amid the government shutdown, which ensured families received timely and necessary support. For the second initiative of Newton for Newton, 5 days of both breakfast and lunch meals were provided to students for the first week of winter break. All the aforementioned support structures for students and their families very clearly show that this board recognizes that the district's academic goals cannot be achieved unless we are working to address the full range of students' needs. I spoke earlier about the importance and impact of stakeholder engagement. Newton County Schools invites and elevates community voice and ensures that the district stakeholders have a clear understanding of the district and our aspirations. To support this effort, 2 community conversations were held during quarter 2, one at Newton High School and one at Eastside High School, which provided both internal and external stakeholders opportunities to gain clarity and offer feedback regarding the work underway in the district. Finally, under advancing innovation and organizational stability, our priorities are to strengthen pathways and programs for students that support workforce development aligned with community needs and industry partnerships. evaluate and modernize policies to promote coherence and to correspond with the current state of the district, and invest in the professional growth of current and aspiring leaders to strengthen executive capacity. During quarter 2, Newton County Schools hosted a workforce development school tour and human resources roundtable, which brought together 25 human resources executives from leading local businesses and industry partners, including Archer, Bridgestone, and Michelin, along with representatives from the Industrial Development Authority. Participants received firsthand insight into how Newton County Schools is aligning classroom instruction with real-world career pathways through its framework for advancing workforce development, with a focus on talent pipelines, workforce readiness, and ongoing collaboration between education and industry. In direct alignment with the board's organizational priority of advancing innovation and organizational stability, the work of conducting a comprehensive policy update is one of our most important strategies. As you know, establishing policy is one of the primary responsibilities of this board, and by extension, a core function of the organization itself. During quarter 2, district staff began engaging with the Georgia School Boards Association and an external partner regarding the comprehensive policy review. Also during quarter 2, development of a roadmap for completing this work began. We made progress during quarter 2 in continuing expansive professional development for Newton County Schools personnel, particularly in working with the district's leaders. The members of the inaugural cohort of the Thrive Executive Leadership Program completed their year-long professional development series, enriched with a deeper understanding of executive leadership. Also in the area of investing in the professional growth of our leaders, staff from the Division of Operations received professional development specific to those who are responsible for the day-to-day operations in school system facilities, planning and maintenance, transportation, school nutrition, safety and security, and technology infrastructure. These personnel were enrolled in the School System Operations Personnel Certificate Program that is administered by the University of Georgia's Carl Vinson Institute of Government. Effective leadership is important, and the district is committed to cultivating well-prepared executive leaders at all levels of the organization. As you can see, board, our team has been engaged in highly focused work, all designed around this board's priorities. What has been presented this evening is a mere snapshot of our progress to date this school year. We are advancing academics, school improvement and student supports, advancing operational effectiveness, advancing culture and engagement, and advancing innovation and organizational stability, ensuring strategic alignment from the boardroom to the classroom, as we remain on track to become the fastest improving school district in the state of Georgia. Madam Chair, this concludes all that I have prepared. I turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Roundtree. Board members, do you have any comments or questions about the report?
I do. Go ahead.
Just a couple quick comments, if I may. First off, just thank you for that report, very thorough, and really there's more work than even that's being done, but that you've like highlighted. So I just thank you for just showing this board and our community the work that we have organized around. These are our organizational priorities, and over, I heard a phrase you would use, and it was input. It was input, engagement, things like that, that I just want our community to hear again, simply because this is not just the work of a team. This is a work of the community, right? Our whole community is involved here. And so we have to hear, both as a representative board, we have to hear what it is our community wants, the hopes and dreams and aspirations of our community. But at the same time, we've got this fiscal responsibility as well to take care of our citizens, our senior citizens, and everyone who pays taxes. couple of quick things. Love to hear that we're almost finished with the literacy blueprint and the excellence in teaching framework. Both of those have been long projects that are very in-depth. And again, you've given us highlights, but the things that matter to me in that literacy blueprint and that teaching framework is that we got input from the leadership committees, the principals, the division leaders, the teachers, and instructional coaches. Those professionals who are boots on the ground getting this work done have got an opportunity to speak into what the blueprint should look like and what the framework should look like. So thank you for doing that. I know that was something we said loud and clear. We wanted to hear from our teachers. So thank you for doing that. On the second organizational priority, operational effectiveness, the strategic plan. We are in like full-blown strategic plan mode right now. So the organizational priorities that you just heard us update, we're going to be getting more from the community to find out what is it you want us to see in your school system. And that strategic plan will define the work that we do for the next 3 to 5 years. And so there was huge community engagement from our all of Newton County. I mean, over 45%, I think, were just parents and guardians alone, which is fantastic. The results, I think it was around 2,000 results we got. Was in a meeting recently with the board chair, and the group that's helping us, our consultant on this strategic plan, was just amazed. They said, I've never seen this much input from a community of 120,000 people. You got 2,000 people to comment and give their opinion. That's fantastic. Or we're doing a terrible job and we got to fix everything. Everybody wants to talk about it. No, it's because there's so much good stuff in that report, and I think it will be made public at some point. You'll be able to see everything that every person said. So just great to hear again that strategic plan is being defined by what our community is saying they want from their school system. So thank you for doing that. And then lastly, this whole workforce development framework that this team has been putting together. Am I covering all of it? I'm sorry, you're looking at me funny.
No, I'm on the strategic plan because who pushed for that for 3 years straight?
Yes.
And you're like, thank you for doing that.
Well, thank you for finally
You
doing it.
are welcome.
Thank you for pushing for it, Madam Vice Chair. But the workforce development framework that this team has also been putting together in cooperation with our local chamber and our IDA board, connecting education in our schools to local jobs, like that's something that our community has been, saying we needed forever. It's not just who gets to go to college. That's great. Who's going to work at these plants that we're building? Who's going to, help in those environments and other blue collar, white collar, all kind of jobs. We have done great work in the workforce development framework, connecting education to local jobs. And I just love that. Making sure that our graduates are prepared for whatever future that's before them. So thank you for this work. Thank you, Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, for pushing for that strategic plan. And we are finally getting the work done. But I'm just really proud of not just this board, our superintendent, Mr. Chief Roundtree, and this whole team. They've really done great work. And this is just quarter 2. So we are becoming the fastest improving district in the state, and you will see that information as it flows out in test scores and achievement in other areas too. So thank you for this work. I'm so grateful.
Mr. Roundtree, I do have a couple of questions or comments. So I'm trying to, of course, I always pull out words, right? So, Joe, I want to start with one of the things you said, elements may continue in a different capacity, pointing out some of the things that we are pulling back on, but you may appear to see them somewhere else, because I don't want people to be concerned about some of the things that you're saying that we're going to pull back on, because they are of importance. But one of the reasons why a couple of us on the board felt the need to pull back on things is I'm a person that I like things done with fidelity and thoroughness. And I feel like when you have a lot of things on the table, you're unable to do that. It causes chaos. Even amongst staff, you don't know what's going on because you have 20 different responsibilities. You went from 3 things to 20 things. So you can't do things with fidelity that way. So thank you all for listening to that conversation and pulling back on some of those things. Now, I will be honest, I do feel like we can pull back on a couple of more things. I'll be honest, just based on the list. I feel like it's great, right, to be the fastest growing and stuff. But again, unless you can do things with fidelity it doesn't do any good to have a whole bunch of things on your plate, right? And so that is my thing. I don't want kids to be left out. I don't want staff to feel overwhelmed. So I want to start with one thing first on that. And to add to that, I think doing things with fidelity, a few things at a time, also allows the opportunity for you to kind of figure out your flaws and kind of mess around with them and make them your strengths, right? Otherwise, you put things to the side and say, we're going to push this out, push this off. I can use, even though now there's a draft, I can use that excellence, in education instructional framework. Like when you're so overwhelmed, you push things off unless you can redefine things and make things smaller, then you can get things done. I do have a question. So you said a shared draft. Trey mentioned a couple of people who all was on the committee. Like, give me some titles.
The principals, we have division leaders, we had teachers, and we had instructional coaches. And so when they went back to their schools, that was the committee, but they brought feedback even from the people within their building. So these people are on the committee, but the swath of people who were involved is more expansive because they were also bringing feedback from their respective schools. That as well, but they were going back. And if you all want to speak a little more clearly to that, Ms. Blackburn?
No, you are correct. Just for clarity, was that for the blueprint or for the instructional framework?
You could do both.
Okay, so for the blueprint, everyone that he just listed was part of the committee. We also had SROs, we had the instructional coaches, teachers, assistant principals, all part of the committee that did a lot of the work. And then we had a lot of feedback sessions. We're continuing with some of those feedback sessions as well. And then for the Excellence in Teaching framework, that was mostly the teacher advisory committee. And then those teachers took it back to their staff to present different parts. They were actually implementing it and kind of seeing how it went and then giving feedback. And so as they were actually the main committee members, and then it was presented to the principals and district leaders for feedback. And so we're doing feedback sessions on that as well. So two different types of committees, but the instructional framework one was mostly the teacher advisory, and then the literacy blueprint was mostly a makeup of different leaders.
So quick question. A couple of months ago when I asked the question, the words were, we are getting ready to begin. But what I hear is feedback and meetings, plural. And that was like really 2 months ago, if that. How many meetings, plural, or feedback sessions have you had if 2 months ago it was, we're getting ready to begin? Just by curiosity.
We can share that timeline with you.
Okay. I would like to see that timeline because it was just 2 months ago. So I just want to see what that is looking like. My other question is, no counselor or support staff, like counselors, social workers, media specialists, none of those.
We did have media specialists, I believe. Oh, and right. Yeah, so we definitely had input from media specialists.
Okay. All right. The other one is the something you said, unless academic goals can't be achieved. So I'll move on to my next topic if you guys can just give me that timeline. The second one, you mentioned academic goals can't be achieved unless you recognize it was something in the way of each individual student's need. Trey mentioned earlier about the strategic plan and community input, and also like taxpayers, right? Everybody is a taxpayer. Everybody is a community stakeholder, regardless of whether you have children or not in the school system. You have the opportunity to drive really the makeup of the community. Your school systems is a major factor in that. But what I want people to understand with everything you just presented, right, all of that is a cost. And we do the best that we can with what we have. And the cost is, I think people don't realize the cost, it really costs, using the word cost again, to be able to do all of those things. Some of those things are not in the budget, and we work with what we have. The thing about educating students, and I really hope people understand this, educating students now, because you said the individual needs in that statement. Every student has an individual need. We heard a former student earlier who talked about individual needs that he had, right? Every student is different, and that is the struggle. I commend educators, I commend staff, I commend school districts on trying to meet individual needs of students. And I wish people would understand all of the dynamics involved in that. And I say that to say, even though we are, and I understand people get upset about some of the things that we do, but not understanding how we do it and the lack of how we try to do it, right? So I hope that people understand and really look at the feedback and these presentations that you are presenting and can understand that. I just wanted to put that out there. Number 3, the strategic plan. Trey already said what he had to say about the strategic plan. And I will say, it was people of all ages that have been coming to the community meetings. I wish I could be a little bit more involved. I could have been a little bit more involved when I was first pushing for it, but I wish I could have been a little bit more involved this time around. But I'm glad to see that people understand that community impact really is taken, and we really try to work with that. Again, you have the opportunity, everybody as a stakeholder has the opportunity to drive the school system. We can differ about things on how to get them done, but at the end of the day, we have to work together in unison to try to get those things completed. The last thing is, you mentioned about some of the things that we had done during the time frame when it was either shut down, like community partnership and stuff. We have some lingering community partnerships out there that we have not completed. I would like to see us complete those lingering community partnerships where people have wanted to do something for the district, but for whatever reason, legal ties, legalities, whatever, we have not been able to complete those. And I can give those to you guys if there's one specific project I'm thinking about. And it is a project, when we do these community projects, you all, they don't just benefit students. They benefit they are a community project. So they're for all ages in the community. And so I would like us to, before the end of the school year, that community project of what a school wanted to do with a partnership with a huge company back in the fall, I would like to see us be able to get that done.
Anyone else? All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Roundtree. Madam Chair, may I proceed with superintendent's reports? Okay, thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Michael Barr to the podium for Board of Education informational item 11C1, Construction East Block Report. Dr. Barr.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the Board of Education, and Superintendent Bradley. I'm pleased to provide this month's Construction and East Block Report, item 11C1. First, an update on the remaining East Block 5 projects. The monument signs at Clements Middle School, Eastside High School, and Flint Hill Elementary are nearing completion. At both Flint Hill and Clements Middle, all electrical work has been completed, and the contractor is now coordinating with staff to train for the operation of the signs. At Eastside High School, the meter base has been installed, and the service provider will soon complete the final electrical connection. At Newton College and Career Academy, the sign contractor will proceed with installation, which is scheduled to begin next week. Initial work will include tree removal and utility marking at the site. Finally, furniture installation at East Newton Elementary School remains on schedule and is expected to be completed in the summer of 2026. Turning to East Block 6, the athletic improvement projects at Alcovey, Eastside, and Newton High Schools, along with the middle school building projects, continue to progress as planned. At Alcovey High School, installation of the field turf is now complete. The scoreboard is installed, and crews are currently completing the underground wiring. Inside the buildings, work on drywall, painting, and flooring is progressing. At Eastside High School, all downspouts and gutters have been installed, the scoreboard steel and footers are in place, and the scoreboard unit is now being installed. Interior finish work, including flooring, painting, and ceiling installation, is also underway. At Newton High School, the base layer of paving for the new parking lot extension is complete, and the top coat is now being applied. The home side bleachers are fully installed, completing all bleacher work at the site. The steel and scoreboard unit are in place, and wiring is now being completed. At the 5 middle school campuses, construction of the new concession and restroom buildings is moving forward. At Indian Creek, Liberty, and Veterans Memorial Middle Schools, the upright brickwork is complete, and crews are preparing to install the roof trusses. Clements and Cousins Middle Schools now have their underground utilities in place. They are progressing through the slab phase, and upright block construction is set to begin soon. At East Newton Elementary School, the gym roof replacement is now fully complete. Roofing crews worked extended hours and completed the work in approximately 3 weeks. In late February, the facilities and procurement departments met with building administrators to prepare for the second phase of renovation work. Building leaders provided valuable feedback to guide planning and preparation as the final work will be completed over the summer break 2026. As part of our continued commitment to transparency, updated photographs and project details are available via the eSplosh tracker on the district website. Madam Chair, this concludes all that I have prepared, but will remain available for any questions or discussion.
Thank you. Any questions, comments?
Real quick.
Yep.
If I may. Dr. Barr, I'm sure you will be glad when the athletic complexes are 100% complete. I know that's a huge project. I just want to remind, too, everyone who just saw all of those projects, that's not your property tax dollars at work. That is the 1 penny eSplosh sales tax that we are so fortunate that our voters continue to approve, or these kind of things would not happen. We would have no room in our budget to do this kind of work that's much needed at these facilities. And the eSplosh dollars cannot be used for other things like your general budget. So I just want to make sure it's clear to everyone, when we have these reports and we show this wonderful projects, those are what our eSplosh dollars go for. That 1 penny sales tax is super important to the school system. So thank you.
All right, anyone else?
I just want to say, I know we mentioned this almost every other meeting, but we also, as an expression of additional accountability and transparency with regard to the use of these funds, we have an eSplosh tracker on our website, and we really created that to make sure that every citizen who contributed and supported this SPLOST, or any private citizen as a general matter who was interested in how these monies were being spent, the progress of the projects that the monies account for, you can go and look on our website and find out how we're using those resources. And so that is something that we make sure that we communicate as regularly as possible for our citizens.
Great, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chair. At this time, I'd like to invite Ms. Erica Robinson to the podium for Board of Education informational item 11F1, financial report. Ms. Robinson.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board, and Superintendent Bradley. Good evening. I'm pleased to present informational item 11F1, finance report for the month ending February 28, 2026. Our total general fund revenue for fiscal year 26 to date stands at approximately $186.4 million, which represents 77.17% of our total budgeted revenue, as highlighted in green. During the month of February, the district received $2.5 million in property tax revenue. On the expenditure side, we've utilized 66.53% of our budget, as shown highlighted in blue, which equates to approximately $176.8 million. Pages 2 through 4 of the financial report provide a detailed breakdown of expenditures by functional category. Notable expenditures during the month of February were largely attributed to salary and benefit obligations. Our beginning fund balance was $56.7 million, and after accounting for revenues received and expenditures incurred to date, our ending fund balance stands at approximately $66.3 million. Our combined financial statements include all of our fund types, which are general fund, capital projects, debt service, and our special revenue funds. The total year-to-date revenue across all funds is approximately $228.8 million. In the Capital Projects Fund, the monthly SPLOST 6 proceeds totaled $2.1 million, which is a decrease of about $260,000 from last month's collection. Additionally, the district has collected $91,000 in interest revenue for the month of February for both our SPLOST and bond proceeds. On the expenditure side, we have spent approximately $219.4 million year-to-date, which represents approximately 62.83% of the budget across all funds. The Capital Projects Fund has seen expenditures of approximately $15 million, which includes payments for the East Newton renovation during the month of February. Spending within our special revenue funds aligns appropriately with their designated budgets and grant provisions. Madam Chair, this concludes all that I have prepared. I turn it back over to you, but will remain available for any questions or board discussion.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Board members, do you have any discussion or questions about the report? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Madam Chair, for our final item this evening, I invite Mr. Ben Roundtree back to the podium for Board of Education informational item 11G1 enrollment report. Mr. Roundtree.
Good evening again. On March 2nd, as of March 2nd, 2026, the district has 18,350 students. That's the enrollment report.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Roundtree. Thank you, Mr. Roundtree. Madam Chair, that concludes superintendent's reports this evening.
All right, perfect. That takes us, we have no old business, so next up will be our new business, item 13. And because this is a work session, I believe the only action item we are taking is item F.
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chair. In item 13A, the superintendent recommends the purchase of educational support resources from Follett Content Solutions, LLC. Total cost is $248,400. The resources are for the Summer Literacy Initiative, which is designed to support K-12 students in maintaining and strengthening literacy skills throughout the summer months. By actively engaging students, parents, and families in structured literacy activities, this initiative extends learning beyond the classroom and promotes continued academic growth throughout the summer. The school system will use a cooperative contract to purchase these items. Contract documentation is provided, and the funding source, which is Title I funds, is there for review. And that is item 13A, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. Board members, do you have any questions about 13A? All right, item B.
Item 13B, the superintendent recommends that the purchase of a security camera system be awarded to Adapt to Solve. The contract value is $963,925.06. As background, in an effort to upgrade the existing security camera system, a cross-divisional team developed and issued a request for information to evaluate potential solutions available in the marketplace. Based on a review of responses and current market offerings, the Verkada cloud-based solution was determined to offer the best overall value to the school system. The system will use a State of Georgia contract administered by the Georgia Department of Administrative Services to procure the cameras through the authorized reseller Adopt to Solve. The project will be funded by a school security grant number 729 and budgeted capital funds, and a breakdown of those funding sources is provided for your review, and purchasing documentation is also provided. And that is item 13B, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. Board members, do you have any questions about item B? All right, we will move on to item C.
Item 13C, the superintendent recommends the contract for grounds care and maintenance be awarded to Yellowstone Landscape LLC. The contract value is $449,292. Request for proposal C98-10, a solicitation for a one-year contract for grounds care and maintenance, was open February 5th, 2026. The vendor's proposals documents were reviewed, evaluated, and scored by a team of both school and system-level personnel through a multi-stage process. Upon evaluation, it was determined that the proposal submitted by Yellowstone Landscape offered the best value to the school system. Contract documentation is provided, and the funding source is identified, and that is item 13C, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any questions about item C? We'll move on to D.
Item 13D, the superintendent recommends the contract for athletic fields care and maintenance be awarded to ACS Landscape Management. The contract value is $197,827. Request for proposal C98-11, a solicitation for a one-year contract for this service was opened on February 3rd, 2026. The documents were reviewed by a team of both school and district-level personnel through a multi-stage process, and through that evaluation, it was determined that the proposal submitted by ACS Land Management offered the best value to the district. Contract documentation is provided, and the funding source is identified. Item 13D, Madam Chair.
Great, thank you. Any questions about item D?
I do have a question about item D.
All right.
Dr. Barr, I'm looking on the contract. I'm actually trying to find, when you say school level personnel, who did that involve?
It was primarily athletic directors were involved in that. So they represented the school's athletic concerns.
That's the key word I was looking for. Okay. Thank you. I was trying to make sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Madam Chair. Dr. Barr, on the scorecard, how we determine the contract, just wanted to make sure, I mean, this is the recommendation of the superintendent. Just the financial score is not where we normally like to see it, I don't think. I mean, it's not bad, so don't let me disparage this company. It's just not the highest on the chart. Are we confident that this company has the ability to get this work done with fidelity? I think that's the best way to put it.
Yes, we talked to numerous references where they do work, including Gwinnett County, City Schools of Beaufort, Jackson County Board of Education Hall. They have
City Schools of Beaufort?
They have
university.
I feel very confident already. Thank you very much.
They have lots of very good references, and we feel very comfortable with the recommendation.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, any other questions for item D? Not, we'll move on to E.
In item 13E, the superintendent recommends the identified items be declared surplus and disposed of per board policy. Item 13E.
All right, thank you. Any questions? Then we will move on to item F, and we will be taking board a vote on this tonight.
In item 13F, the superintendent recommends the approval of personnel matters as discussed in executive session. Item 13F.
Do I have a motion to approve item F?
So move.
Ms. Henderson Baker, do I have a second? Mr. Anderson Bailey. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All right, that takes us to other matters of interest.
Madam Chair, I have a few, and I'll most certainly defer to the board if you have any additional. But I just want to begin, first of all, just by acknowledging the presence of just really a fantastic civic organization that are here with us tonight, representing en masse the Covington Area Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, led by Chapter President Ms. Barbara Collins. Can we give them a round of applause for their attendance and presence this evening? Thank you so much for being with us this evening. There also are several things that have happened in our district over the past couple of weeks. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge them. Madam Chair, Board, we just recently celebrated Read Across Newton Week as a part of Read Across America Week. I had the good fortune of reading to the pre-K and kindergarten classrooms at Fairview Elementary. Mrs. Henderson Baker joined in on the festivities as she does every year. It really was just a fun time to elevate the importance of reading in our community. And as you all know, this board has centered literacy improvement as one of our primary organizational priorities, work that we've been doing for the past couple of years. So just want to thank everybody who participated, all the schools and students who participated in Reading Across Newton. Last week, we also announced the district CTAE award winners. Dozens of students were recognized for their achievement in career and technical education and coursework, but 2 students rose above the rest: Journey Hay of the Newton County STEAM Academy and Gracie Woodward of the Newton College and Career Academy. We want to say congratulations to Journey and Grace, and for all of the students who represented and participated in the CTAE awards. Also, Madam Chair, just this morning, I had the opportunity to participate in the awarding of over $1 million worth of scholarships to over 31 Newton High School students. by Alabama A&M University. Let me
Go Bulldogs.
That's right. That's right. Let me say this. Alabama A&M's president was on hand to share the news. He didn't send his assistants. He didn't send his executive team. The president, he didn't send his emissaries. The president came.
And he's a Fort Valley State University Wildcat. Dr. Williams.
And a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Yes.
But I just took a moment to remind the president that, Alabama A&M University is very important to Newton County schools. In fact, one of the student ambassadors that accompanied the president is a former graduate of Newton High School, and he represented himself extremely well. We should be proud that we've got so many students from our district that are doing such great things. And aside from the fact that we represented so well, I also told the president that for all of the schools and school districts that he will visit over the next couple of weeks, he won't find any better than Newton County schools and Newton High School. So we're glad for the 31 students that received over $1 million worth of scholarship offers.
Go
today.
Bulldogs.
Congratulations to them. And just one final reminder, it was mentioned in Mr. Roundtree's report that as a part of our organizational priority to strengthen and deepen community and stakeholder engagement, I'll be holding my final community conversation of the year at Alcovia High School on March 16th. That's next Monday. So if you've not had an opportunity to attend a community conversation, please join us at Alcovia High School. We look forward to hearing from you. And as we do for following every community conversation, we follow back up with the community to let everybody know what we heard. So, Madam Chair, that's all I have. Again, if any board members have anything.
I have one more thing. Can you go back to that slide for the A&M slide?
I feel like we might know another student or two there, right?
Of course, we have another student there. My daughter, yes, and Miss Vanel's daughter, yes. But I want to talk about the young man in the center, Jason. Jason graduated Newton High School, class of 2023. And I just want to say something real quick about him because you talked about him. He's on track scholarship at Alabama A&M, y'all, but he looks so distinguished because he is a royal escort. So if you've ever been to a HBCU, it is a big deal to be on the royal court because the queen, you walk all of the class queens, every football game, you are a true student ambassador. So Jason, who's in the center, we call him Ja, he is a royal, and you can tell how distinguished he is. But it's so great to see our students flourishing. So I do want to just say that about him as well. But thank you to Dr. Williams and the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. Go Bulldogs.
All right. With all that said, I need a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting. Mr. Anderson Bailey, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Trey Bailey, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned.